everybody on YouTube? Thrift School here, and I want to talk to you about recent Amazon restrictions on certain categories and products and brands, and really what are your options when it comes to this? Because I've been affected by it, I'm sure you've been affected by it, or you know somebody that's been affected by it, right? It's kind of like we're not going to get into this. So it's something that is really plaguing a lot of sellers online, a lot of resellers online, because they focus a big portion of their business around, let's say, music, which is now a recently restricted or gated. These are terms for basically you can't sell the item. This is basically what is going on in a bunch of different categories. So let's say you based your business around selling music, or you based your business selling something that becomes restricted. What can you do? Because now you're out of that income source. Now there's people that say diversify, sell on eBay, right? But we want to be a little more proactive. What are things that we can actually do instead of just sit there and be like, well, I got restricted. I'm not going to be able to sell music anymore. Game over. That sucks. There's options you can do, and now there's the bad options that people say, well, find the next profitable thing. But eventually, if Amazon starts restricting so many items and so many categories, well, that is going to get smaller and smaller and harder. So you don't want to just jump ship and start doing something else. In the beginning, yes, you have to, because there's not too much you can do right away. But I don't recommend just saying, oh, well, Amazon says I can't, so I can't, because you still can. Now, I do highly recommend diversification. That is something that you should be doing no matter what. You should be selling on eBay, you should be selling on Amazon, and all different products. Don't just be selling in one niche. I know a bunch of people that do 99% of their business as books, and textbooks have recently been restricted for a bunch of people. So that's something that, okay, that could be a big hit on your business model. That's not something that you want to happen to you. So the best option that you can do is to file a request of approval to sell in this category. And now there's a bunch of ways that you can do it for all different categories and all different items. But the easiest way is to go to a wholesaler, specifically one that sells CDs in this case, because we're just talking about music in this case, but it goes for everything, right? So go find a wholesaler online or in person, wherever you want. Make sure you get the receipts and get 3 separate orders of at least 10 CDs or more, depending on your category. And that is what Amazon wants to see, and they want to see it from a reputable wholesaler, and it's that easy, guys. Now, I personally haven't been hit with the music ban hammer restriction, knock on wood, but I have been restricted in grocery and health and personal care and beauty and all that, and I haven't actually sent in the request because I haven't bought anything wholesale. Now, I very, very rarely come across grocery or health and personal care, things like that for Amazon. So I haven't really gone out of my way to spend money with wholesalers and things like that. But I have spent a lot of time and money selling music. So if that were to all of a sudden become restricted for me, that would be a huge hit on my business. So I would personally go find a wholesaler online, and if I do happen to get restricted, hopefully I don't, but if I do happen to get restricted, I will most certainly make a video on how I go about it, which wholesaler I use. I know a lot of people don't really mention which one they use or anything like that, because I see people getting ungated in grocery and getting ungated in health and personal care. And then if you want to do it and you ask them how, you know what they say? Buy my $29.99 whatever, and I'll show you how to do it. Which I do get that, because it is a lot of work, time, and money to figure out how to get ungated and things. It is. So I understand people not wanting to just give away the information for free. Then there's an influx, whatever. So I do get it. I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't. Some people might think it's a bad thing. I don't, right? Um, I just want to read some of these comments really quick. We have Anna Burden here saying, hope there'll be more package openings. There, not right now. Pamela Lynn in the house. Hello, hello. Side K. Dustin Doyle. G. Jasso, and Jonathan Sarmiento. Um, so, yeah, pretty much what Amazon does in these restriction cases are you could be grandfathered in, such as a lot of people on Amazon that have been selling. If they've been doing it for a long time, they can still sell DVDs, right? And they haven't been restricted on them yet. They can still sell them. Yet, Amazon's weird like this, guys. So if you're not an Amazon seller and this is all new to you, then take this in because tell me how weird this sounds. Yet, let's say you're grandfathered in. You've been selling on Amazon, you've been selling CDs for a while. All of a sudden, Amazon just goes, nope, you can't anymore. Game over. You're done. What? Where did that come from? I've been selling it forever without incident. So there's these things where it doesn't make sense now. They're saying it's because of counterfeiting and all yada yada yada. But if you were grandfathered into selling DVDs, why can't you be grandfathered into selling CDs? That's not really the point of this video, but the point is to basically tell you guys that there are options out there. Go the wholesaling route. You can contact Amazon directly. I've actually heard of somebody, Boppets became restricted for a good amount of people. They're restricted for me as well. And I have a bunch of them, and you can submit a claim or whatever and do the wholesale report and all this stuff saying you're approved to sell Boppets. I haven't been able to really figure that one out yet because that's a little bit different than just CDs. It's a very specific toy that is randomly restricted. So how are you able to sell them? Price on them is skyrocketing right now. They were selling for about $25, $30 on, probably like $25 on Amazon. Now they're in the $40 to $50 range because the people that have them in the warehouse and that have been able to sell them are just jacking up those prices, getting good profits. So how are we able to get those profits? You really want to contact Amazon, call them. You know, if you really have no idea, call them and ask to speak to somebody. I've done that in certain situations, not necessarily this kind of situation, but for just random things, and they will tell you what you want to know, pretty much. And that's honestly an amazing thing, that they are willing to just tell you what you want to know. You know, I see a lot of people that once something bad happens, they just sit there and they're like, all right, well, that's over. Amazon sucks, everything sucks, but no, man, you could, or woman, anybody out there, you can definitely still make amazing money with Amazon. You can make amazing money with eBay. You can make amazing money with merch by Amazon, with YouTube. I'm sure there's still a lot of people out there making money with Kindle. I don't know of any right now that are still making good money with Kindle, but people still are. I'm just going to shout out a few more people that we have right here. Jonathan says, it's kind of weird since I never sold anything in beauty or groceries and now we're not restricted. Really, you're not restricted. That's very odd. What I hate is I used to sell video games. Some consoles now are becoming restricted. Yeah, so Nintendo Wii's are restricted. I believe Sony PlayStation 2 Slims, the black models, are restricted. Certain video games, I think Mario Kart is restricted if it has the wheel. I have no idea. Just really random things that they're just pulling and making them restricted. So it's very hard to play the game where I know of people that they'll buy and they'll hoard till quarter 4 and then they'll send stuff in. Do not do that. Get it into the warehouses while you can. If people were hoarding Legos, that's something that just recently became restricted if it's used. Let's say you were buying up Lego sets, making sure they're complete, hoarding them, hoarding them, hoarding them. Yes, you can still sell them on eBay. It's a lot more work, but all of a sudden you're stuck with all of this inventory that you can't do anything with. I highly recommend not waiting to see, oh, well, you know, books will never become restricted, so I can wait to send off a shipment. Now, get that shipment out. Make sure that stuff sells while you can, right? You don't want to get screwed, really, is what I'm trying to say. Do you think that only those things you purchase at the wholesaler can be listed, or you can list things from yard sales? Pamela, once you are approved, you can list anything. This is the same with grocery, with beauty, clothing, things like that, different brands. Once you have the wholesaler list and you have the receipts and Amazon approves you to sell under these certain categories, you can sell any item within that category, usually unless there is a certain brand restriction. But with CDs, you're not really going to have that brand restriction like you would with certain toys. Maybe what do I always see? Melissa and Doug toys are usually restricted, so you have to have approval from the company. So that's the difference. Hello, Purple Haze. I was selling CDs, but they are now restricted since they're asking me even money. Yeah, so with what I'm saying with the CDs, you definitely, if you're restricted, look into wholesalers. Go onto Google and type in CD wholesaler. find somebody that sells them. Make sure they have the wholesale receipts. You need 3 of them. Make sure, read Amazon's guidelines. When you're going to get approval, read through exactly what they want and just copy it. Just do exactly what they want, order them. It's going to cost you money up front, which sucks, but think about how much more money you'll make in the long run selling these CDs, right? They add up, especially when you're finding them for $1 or so at garage sales. But that is the downside, because you are going to have to invest to get these wholesale receipts, right? You're going to have to freaking invest some money, which sucks, because if you've been selling forever, you don't want to have to invest more money into something. And the things that you're buying at wholesale probably aren't worth all that much money on Amazon anyways. But to get approved, it's worth it. I've been able to sell Funko Pops now. I need to pay $1,000. No, I can't sell anymore. Yeah, Funko Pops are another thing where they just tell you to pay money. Certain brands like Nike, they just say, just give us $1,000 and you could sell this item. What? It's so weird. Very, very random. Hello, Penny Royal. You're at Disneyland? That is very awesome. Penny Royal 101. G. Jasso says, that's the thing, family. You never know when something will be restricted. It's very true. You have no idea. Amazon could one day just say, you know what? I want to make, and this actually happened, Canon, right? This is Canon camera. All of a sudden, Canon was restricted along with Sony and all these big brands. And now, select few items are restricted within those brands, but not everything. All they have to do again is be like, Canon's restricted. You're screwed. Everybody's screwed. Let's say you just went to the store. Let's say you went to a Walmart and you found, 20 of these things on clearance. You're like, cool. You get them all. You package them all. You're ready to ship them out. And then you go to ship them and all of a sudden they're restricted. You're like, well, just wasted all that time, all that money. Hopefully your Walmart's cool and you could go back and return 20 cameras right after you bought them. Who knows? It's just very, very sketchy. You want to be quick with your flips. Get those things shipped out. Seriously. Wow, that's crazy, Jonathan. All right, let's see what we have. Pearhead Picker, I got my CD restriction about a week ago. So frustrating. Almost switched back to eBay 100%. Now every week it's something else I can't sell. Love your vids, by the way. Thank you very much, Pearhead Picker. Yeah, pretty much every other week something crazy happens. I sell a lot on eBay. I'm running an experiment on my eBay store. Everything's on auction. Only had one bid so far, so I don't think that is really going to work. Who knows? But it's something you really just have to diversify, and you really have to try a bunch of different things. And when you get hit with something, yes, sell other things as well. But try to contact Amazon. Try and figure out ways that you can break through the restriction and sell these items to make the most money. Just sucks that you have to go through it. It really does. For some reason, Amazon hasn't restricted me in CDs yet, says Teen Hustler. Same with me. That's why I say yet. It's scary. Okay. Teen Hustler says, can you sell Mario Kart and Mario Party 8 on Amazon? I believe I can. I've sold Mario Kart on Amazon a bunch of times. I don't know about Mario Party 8. I don't have my phone with me. It's charging in the other room, so I'm not 100% sure if I could sell it, but I do know that certain games are randomly restricted for certain people. A lot of the Pokemon games and things like that are restricted for me on DS, same with a lot of other people. And these are things that you can't really get approval in that I know of. If a Pokemon game is restricted, it's restricted for a reason. You either have to get an okay consent from Nintendo, which good luck, right? Or you have to prove that you are a retailer, like I'm sure GameStop, if they want to sell on Amazon, they could sell Pokemon games, right? Because they're big enough. So there's just certain things that you can't do. All right, it's okay, 26 Junior. Glad that you're here. I'm pulling most of my, pulling most of my inventory so I can sell at merchant/eBay. I am also, private labels are being targeted lately. I was asked by Amazon that my private label was counterfeit. That is kind of funny. That's kind of funny. It's ridiculous. I mean, it sucks. It's okay if you're venting. It sucks because how can a private label be counterfeit? It's your own item. You sourced it. You created it. You did all that. I'm not in private label. I get questions asking me all the time if I'm in private label, and I'm not. My farm private label are also getting restricted, and my customers' returns are being bought by Amazon. Oh my gosh, yeah, that sucks. So now it's you and Amazon the listing. Yeah, it's horrible. Amazon is a beast. They really are. I know a lot of people that sell on Etsy and Mercari and all these things. Personally, that doesn't work for me. I'm still okay with Amazon for now, and same thing with eBay, but that's why it's great to diversify. Try new things. There's sell new items, do all these things. Reselling is going to be around forever. Selling on Amazon, who knows? Selling on eBay seems pretty stable for most people. Yeah, fees go up and things like that. But eBay seems to be a pretty sturdy, stable selling platform, which is awesome. Amazon can be a little sketchy with restrictions. eBay doesn't really have restrictions. They do have items that you're not allowed to sell, certain random items. But for the most part, almost everything's fair game over on eBay, of course. And I'm sure most of you guys watching right now sell on eBay. Most of you guys sell on Amazon. But I know the majority of resellers sell on eBay. I do notice that. And instead of Amazon, like they don't even bother with Amazon. And I understand why. It can be very frustrating with returns and restrictions and things like that. But trust me when I say, guys, you can make a lot of money selling on Amazon. So I highly recommend just getting in while you can, right? All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, I've been noticing that the fees have definitely increased a lot more than previous years. Yeah, the fees, they keep going up. That's about it. They keep going up. Offer Up and Let Go have become my new best friends lately. Really, Parrot Picker, I do zero local game besides tag sales, garage sales, yard sales, things like that. I do zero local game selling. Buying is a different story, but selling I do not do at all. I am actually going, and I'm going to be filming this. There's going to be a cool video coming up, storage auctions. Going to be going to storage auctions soon. So, technically that's local game, buying locally sort of, around surrounding towns. And I'm going to try and sell some of the bigger items instead of just throwing them out on OfferUp, like Craigslist, stuff like that. So we're going to see how it works out where I live in Connecticut. I have no idea how it's going to pan out. We'll see. Next thing you know, it bans everything and then bans the website from selling anything. Let Go has been pretty good for me too. Too many people flake on OfferUp in my area. Yeah, people flake all the time. I remember I've had two of my worst stories. This is kind of getting off topic, so we'll actually save it for another time. Doesn't matter. But Jeff Smith, yeah, you got to be careful. So really quick, just to recap, don't just let Amazon decide, even though they do decide what you can and can't sell. Figure out if wholesaling is a possibility for you. Now, if you're not able to afford it, because think about this, to wholesale, you have to buy, I've heard 10 items, so 10 CDs, 3 different times on 3 different receipts, so that's 30 CDs. If you're paying $5 or $6 per CD, that adds up fast. It does. Now, you can recoup some of your money possibly by selling it back on Amazon, maybe in a big lot over on eBay or something, to recoup some of your cash, maybe locally, not really sure. But this is definitely something to try out. Don't just be like, okay, you got everything sent back, time to donate it. You know, worst comes to worst, and you can't get approved on Amazon, there is still the possibility of just taking your item, selling it on eBay. I know a lot of Amazon only sellers hate having inventory in their house. I don't like it. That's why it's all in this one room. I hate having inventory in my house. I just don't like it, right? Nothing is out there. Everything's in here. So it would suck for a little while, but at least you can make your money back or recoup some of it by selling your items on eBay. Odds are you're not going to make as much money on eBay. Some items you will, but that's always a viable option. Hey man, did you sell or sold bikes? If so, how do you sell them on eBay? Never sold one on eBay. I've sold one on OfferUp. That's it. One bike on OfferUp. So never done it on eBay or anything like that, but I have sold one on OfferUp, and it was actually a very positive experience. Sold it for like 25 bucks or 30 bucks, something like that. Super cheap. I got it for free. So I find bikes all the time for free if you look on the side of the road, and free bike or at the end of the garage sale or something like that. You can find them, and they're usually trash. And this one was trash. I had to clean it up, fix the chain, do all this, but it worked, and I was able to sell it for like 30 bucks. So not too shabby. Was it worth the work for me? I think so. It was a good experience. You could take them apart and ship them. It's possible. But I just wanted to, go over Amazon restrictions, kind of what you can do, what your options are. I know some people know about wholesaling, some people don't. I highly recommend going to Google, just type in CD wholesalers, and you'll find a whole list of things, right? Go into Amazon and read the guidelines, see exactly what they want from you, and just follow it to a T, and you should be okay. So if you're restricted right now, give it a shot. Let me know in the comments if you're restricted. I'm very curious to know if you are restricted in selling CDs. I'm not. Teen Hustler isn't. So there's a few people that aren't and a few people that are. And I'm trying to find out what the common denominator is. So let me know down below if you are restricted. I have no idea. And leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. And subscribe if you haven't already. All these great things. Till next time, guys, this is Thrift School, signing out.